is up, guys? I'm Elia and I'm here to give you some life tips, some devotional, something just so you can ponder on. I just got off the phone with my spiritual mom and she really gave me some opening eyes and just to help me see where I'm going. And suddenly I was reminded how so many people in the Bible were imprisoned, were kept in a place of isolation, were kept in a place of captivity to really see God be God. There was a time in my life, multiple times in my life, because of my past, because of my daddy issues that I had, I would always be infatuated with the idea of having someone. I always wanted a boyfriend, I always wanted a partner, right? So I didn't have to deal with life on my own. And it took a lot for me to allow God to really move where he needed to move in order so I can walk into my full identity, into my full womanhood. And as I speak to you about this, I am still in process of walking into my full identity and still walking into my full womanhood. But just where I came from now, I was in a relationship for 4 years and I thought I would marry this guy, and we broke up and it was totally sudden and totally rocked my world in the most negative way possible. And that was where I was really able to deal with my depression, deal with my anxiety, deal with my suicidal ideations that I had. And God delivered me. But once I went through deliverance, I got in another relationship that ended up becoming more carnal than I ever expected it to be. And there, I really couldn't grasp why was this happening to me? Why did I allow myself to go into this? And it was when I had enough of it, to the point where I was like, I'm worth more than this. I deserve so much more. And really realizing, like, in those moments of ensnarement, in those moments of captivity is where you can really see God move. And you're probably like, Elia, like, that's so basic. Like, I'm so depressed. I've been so trapped for so long. I don't see where God is. My whole family is messed up. My finances are messed up. I'm practically homeless right now, right? But in those moments where you allow God to work, he'll actually work. Why do I say that? Because I didn't allow God to do what he needed to do in order for him to get me where I need to be. There was moments where it was always like, no, God, like, I got this, don't worry about it. But he's God, he's our Father, and he wants us to be free. The essence of freedom became captive so that we can be free. Like, that's crazy. That's beyond anything we could ever ask for, beyond anything we could even imagine. And the fact that God was able to do that for me, it was just a reminder. And if I'm being honest, like, this week we're in May and months have passed, and I've been in a season of consecration and just really trying to figure out who God is and who he's called me to be. But can I tell you that it's not easy? Can I tell you that everyone that I look up to, they make it look like, wow, God's really working for you and you're doing great, you're putting music out, or you're making videos, or you're having a house and your finances are all together. But people don't talk about the suffering. People don't talk about the actual prudence, like the pruning, the bitter parts, that it is so hard to be young, to be in love with God, to call yourself a Christian, especially in this time. There's people who look at me, people who hate me because of who I am, because of what I've overcome. Can I tell you that this walk has not been the easiest? Can I tell you and be completely raw and honest that I have failed so many times, that I've wanted to quit, that I wanted to leave God and be like, screw it, that I have told God, F this, I'm done. Can I tell you and remind you that this walk is the hardest thing that I've ever said yes to? Can I tell you that it's a constant dying to myself and a constant saying yes to God even when I don't see it? Can I tell you that I'm suffering all the time? But can I also tell you that God comes out? He literally shows his glory, that he shows his kindness. You see Paul being in prison all the time, being hit. And he said, to live is Christ and to die is gain. Can I tell you that you see Daniel going into the lion's den, but then you see God who protects him and that these lions don't devour him? Can you see that he's with the 3 men in the fire and he is the 4th guy protecting them, and they're all like, what the heck? Like, we're not being burned alive right now. Like, what is this? This is the 4th person. Can I tell you that Jesus got hit and slain and beaten and mocked at and bullied all the time, but he still loved them and extended his hand and his life for all of us? Can I tell you that it's okay to be in the process, to not have it all together, to be suffering, but also know that He has His right hand upon you, and that He is guarding you, and that He hears your heart's cry, that He hears your mourning, your sorrow spirit, that He hears you. But we don't have to do this alone. So I want this to be as an encouragement to you that it's okay to fail. It's okay to mess up. But it's not okay to remain stagnant. It's not okay to give up. But can I tell you that it's not too late? Can I tell you that there's no time limit? That God can make up for lost time? That God can take away and put into your life? That God can open doors and close doors that no man can open or close? Like, you can ask beyond you could ever imagine, and God will give you above all you could ever ask for, and abundantly. Can I tell you that you're loved and that you're cared for? And that your past doesn't define you? And that it's okay to keep working on your process, that you are still fearfully and wonderfully made, that you're still chosen and not forsaken, that Christ, who created a new work, a great work in you, will carry you into completion. Can I tell you there's nothing too far, too wrong that you can do to take away the love of God? Like, nothing can separate you from the love of God. And so I encourage you, keep walking. It's okay to not have it all together. It's okay to feel like you want to give up, but don't actually give up. Keep walking, keep serving, keep pushing. And even when you don't see it, literally God is working everything out in your favor. So grace and peace. I love y'all. See y'all soon.